Kent, the Garden of England, famous for cathedrals, the Channel Tunnel, cliffs, no, not that cliff, and universities. There's probably loads more stuff, but fuck that, we're here to talk about a music scene that's been bubbling under in Kent for years. It's the Kent punk scene. Best let the punks tell you about it themselves. Up the Kent!
So I moved to Kent about 12 years ago, but kind of got into the local scene via my son about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's such a vibrant local punk scene in Kent, but it gets on the whole I guess ignored out in the rest of the country. So you know there'll be a few gigs in London, but as far as Kent bands playing the big festivals in the north of England and the west of England, it doesn't really happen very often. What we did was this project, which was just try to raise the profile of the Kentish bands and try and get them out there a little bit and maybe get a few more gigs in Sussex and Essex and Suffolk and sort of just a little bit further afield. Give them a nosebleed, get them out of Kent.
My name's Ron Millisham. I'm the vocalist with All Flags Burn. We pretty much supported Andy from the beginning with this thing because somebody's doing something. And you know he's putting a lot of effort into sort of helping out the punk ska scene, and we thought it was a good idea because it was an experiment, you know.
Hi, I'm Bill. I'm from Less Than Worse, and much the same. We've been with Andy from pretty much the start of Less Than Worse. Really done our first gig with Society and kind of been involved with him ever since. He's helped us out and we've tried to help him out along the way. But yeah, it's true. It's like there's a lot of good bands going unnoticed down here, and just hope that you know this can help raise the profile a bit because there's a lot of deserving bands that aren't getting the credit they need. So hopefully you know it can move on and we can join everyone in that. If you look around Kent, like everyone thinks everyone's well off down here and it's all going good, but there's a lot of places, especially the Medway towns, where there's a lot of kind of forgotten people really, people that are just trying to make a living and get through life. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, through every generation, through every scene and whatnot, everyone feels the same. Like, you know, you look at the variety of people here today and there's like, you know, people that are just coming into the scene like Society that are all young guys, but they can see it, as well as guys like Daz and the Committed and like just pretty much everyone involved really. Like the main stage was set well long before we were born, but we're just trying to keep the flag burning and keep it going.
Right, I'm Russ Crimewave. I've been into the scene down here 30 odd years on and off. Disappeared for a few times, played with God knows how many bands. Currently solo, playing guitar. Kent itself gets ignored. You know, you see touring bands and they go to all the big cities. Hello, we got a big city, it's called fucking Canterbury. Do you know what I mean? Come and play there. No, they don't. They completely ignore here. And basically, we just want more bands to get out of Kent and get known outside of Kent because it is just a criminally underrated scene down here. We got some of the best bands in the country, in my opinion, and they're ignored. They're completely and utterly ignored. Where'd you come from? In my case, Ramsgate. Where'd you come from, Ramsgate? Where the fuck's that? Next to Margate. Oh yeah, we know where Margate is. No, we don't fucking want you.
Lights always travel,
In a remote part of Sittingbourne, a band are busy preparing for their performance.
Hello? Alright. What did you bloody put him here for? What did I tell you? No. It's right outside my bloody house, man. I've had to dig the bloody fucker up again. Oh, for bloody hell's sake, Aaron.
If you want a job done right, bloody do it yourself.
They go by the name.
You had a good day today?
It's been bloody lovely. I'm not sure, it's probably some of the worst heavy metal bands I've ever seen. But it's been pretty busy, so that's good. Where the fuck are you going?
I'm going off again, I need to get
Lord, you fuck off. We did okay.
Bloody thing.
Cheap. Buy cheap, buy twice. That's what they say. We've been around for probably 5 or so years since Mr. Shrubsall inherited a hell of a lot of money.
Let's get some more.
And just throw it away. Obviously.
Boogie woogie I've ever seen. Do you people love boogie? No.
We are Drop This, and we're probably the worst band of the day today.
That's really harsh, man. But yeah, true.
I said probably.
Probably. I don't know.
On the account of the fact that all the other bands are
good,
well experienced, been around a long time, crusty as fuck. The thing is, at this level, all bands have got to support each other, and obviously in a local capacity, that's the best way to do it. It's all about supporting each other, really, in the beginning, hence the reason for this thing in general.
Right, our bands are committed. We formed in 1978-79, kept going till about 84, 85. Had a break and then got back together again in 99.
Yeah, we all met women, didn't we, and it broke up.
Yeah. Yeah. We were celebrating the 30 years since our EP got brought out on vinyl, if anyone remembers that.
Then the women left us and we thought we'd start up again.
Yeah. It was meant to be a one-off. And it's sort of, and we've been going for 6 years since then.
Yeah. This is our longest go, isn't it? This is our longest go.
We've been going longer this time than the first time round.
Yeah. And it's getting better and better, and we're enjoying it more and more. Yep.
And the scene's getting better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from all
the sad thing is, all the stuff we used to sing about
it's still there.
It's still there. Nothing's changed. The fucking the whole society thing is, if anything, it's got worse and it's fucking not right, and we've got to do something about it.
I've asked this question before, all these people that sing about England and how they love the country and all that. Got no problem with that at all. But when I ask the question, what exactly is it you like about this country, I'll never get an answer. This is what we do. There's fucking plenty to be proud of in this country. The NHS, the welfare state, all the stuff that the Tories and every fucking successive government for the last few years is trying to eradicate. We're saying it's something we should be proud of. We're trying to look after the poor people in this country, and they're trying to fucking stop it happening. Stand up, tell them it ain't fucking on, because the poor people need help. This is called pride and shame.
Too near London, but the wrong side of it. People are prepared to go to London for gigs. People in London are prepared to go to London for gigs, but they expect every other group to come to London to play. And we're just round the corner, and you know, there's all this, there's this whole lot of talent here. But
and there's some good venues. There's some good venues.
Brilliant
that don't
venues.
People don't turn up. They moan about there's nowhere to go. We've got some really good venues, and people just don't turn up.
The main ethos of our band has been. We have loads of bands play with us. Our drummer Digger has encouraged a lot of big bands like the UK Subs, Vibrators and all that down to the island. And we've given lots of up and coming bands a chance to play with that kind of band. And our big emphasis is trying to get local bands, encourage them to come on, because there's so much talent out there, and there's younger people still coming on.
Especially the youngsters as well. I mean, they're fucking some of them great young bands, aren't they?
In a few years' time, you can imagine what they're going to be like.
Any young bands like that, we try to encourage local bands and try to get them all doing something and get people down here to see what's going on.
Stand up for everything that's great in this country.
No documentary on the Kent punk scene would be complete without a mention of someone who did so much for the scene and its players. And it's this bloke, Davey Wild. Davey was a promoter who championed the punk scene in Kent, tirelessly putting on gigs and even going as far as letting bands stay at his gaff when they'd come from all over the show to play in Kent. That's the sort of bloke Davey was. Davey snuffed it in 2014, but his legacy lives on. The scene could do with more blokes like Davey. He was one of a kind.
We're Ska Society. We're a ska punk band.
Tipping board.
Up the Kent.
Up the Kent. We have some new members.
I
Do it now.
I hit things.
Keep our society.
Keep the drummer.
He bangs from the rear.
This kid's name's Logan.
I'm Logan. Yeah, I can say that.
No, you can't.
I'm Logan, and I am now the guitarist.
We're working on an album at the moment.
Aiden's working on an album now.
He's very slow.
Okay.
In bed and in life.
Then we're also playing some big festivals.
Yeah.
Where we'll also be upping the Kent. For example, Rebellion in
Blackpool.
We'll be playing in Up the Kent gig in Blackpool.
Blue Room.
At the Blue Room.
Is it the Blue Room?
Or
the Blue Room?
With blue.
Oh, it's buzzy.
We're playing Three Quarters Festival in Cornwall.
Quality Festival. Big up
Festival.
Cornwall.
We've got the
Not as
Undercover
good as
Festival.
Kent, but still alright.
And Undercover in Bisley.
Bisley?
Sorry,
yeah.
near Guildford.
Bisley is a busy place.
I don't know who you are anymore. Right, you guys, it's about to kick in again. A little bit more noise. Give it a shake, go!
This sort of scene isn't getting, or the scene in Kent isn't getting as much exposure as it probably deserves, is a number of factors. Firstly, geographical. I think we are probably face the same problems that Cornwall does. We're stuck on, we call the album the arse of England, so we're down, stuck in the bottom of the triangle, in the right angle of the triangle in Britain, which doesn't help. We have to travel a long way. We're not necessarily bringing a big fan base then when we go and play gigs elsewhere. Whereas if you're in the Midlands, you know, there's a cluster of cities around it that you can go and get gigs in. So I think that's one of the reasons. I don't think there's any sort of prejudice about it. It's purely a financial thing. In the old days, you could go to any venue and there'd be fans already there. Today, you really need, if you're promoting gigs, you need fans to come along and pay the money. And unless you bring a following with you, you know, pubs can't survive, promoters can't survive. And obviously, the further you go, the smaller the following you're going to bring, invariably, unless you're a signed band. So, I think primarily is partly to do with the geography, and I think the other heart of it is the fact that the scene is on the decline. I think it's on the decline. Live music generally is on the decline. So, we're trying to do something about that.
We're the Warriors. We formed in the early 80s and we split up again. We started back again in 95. And yeah, we've done about 6 albums, and we played in Europe and the rest of the world, America, yeah, twice Japan now. We played. Yeah. But we still haven't made it or nothing like that, and we've always tried
DIY.
All DIY, yeah. We've always tried to support the Kent scene because that's where we come from. So. The hub of the Kent punk scene is, I would say, Canterbury. generally speaking. Down this way.
Oh, so yeah. Got the Lady Luck, haven't you? And
yeah,
because
and all that. Because Sheerness, there's loads of people over in Sheerness, but it's a little bit out of the way for people to go. Just getting home there. That's why people leave Fordham. But Canterbury, we always find when we play in Canterbury, you always get a decent crowd because you've got the students here, and it's sort of. I mean, it's 8 miles from where I live. It's about 10 from where you live, and it's sort of central. So
and it's just a really good scene.
It's like, good scene in Canterbury.
Bands playing tonight. I mean, that was about 11 bands, but there's at least probably about another 10, aren't they, who didn't play. You know, got the likes of Anthrax, who
Yeah,
and you know a League of Kent.
And League of Kent.
There's loads of
Last Resort of Kent, Anthrax of Kent. Yeah. So there is quite,
obviously the Last Resort.
Yeah. And obviously the top end of Kent, you had Bromley and that. You had loads of bands up there, but that's
it's
almost
a good
London
scene
now, isn't it?
Good scene.
But yeah, there's plenty of bands about. I would say the best place to see them would be Canterbury, probably.
Generally, it's the easiest to get to.
At the moment.
I think that's the main problem with Kent is transport. It's people actually getting to and from gigs. Getting home is the main problem.
Yeah, because Ashford's quite a good. They're trying to do things in Ashford, but again, you're all right to go back one way, but going towards London, the last train's sort of too early, isn't it? It's about 11 o'clock.
So there you have it. Hopefully this has given you an idea of what's going on with the punk scene in Kent. Like any scene, it relies on the likes of you, the punter, to get up off your arse and away from the telly watching X Factor. Or you, as a band, wanting to get out there and play. So come on, don't be a cunt, get up the Kent.
Not allowed to protest without their saying so. And the latest weapon is called the PSCOs. These are plastic covers in the employ of the state. Wanna be untouchables, trying to intimidate. Because we are all terrorists and enemies of the state. They take your name and DNA, put it on their database. They delete all of your pictures and say they have the right to make this once free country a police state overnight. They go with the cover and shoot at the police. Film out every single move and stop us on the street. Post it on the internet, watch it on YouTube.